Well, as I've shared so far this week, with Jesus saying, I am the Good Shepherd, he's referring back to an image that is found frequently in the Hebrew Bible. Obviously, the most well-known example of that is the 23rd Psalm that begins, "The Lord is my shepherd." And that well-known psalm goes on to express great confidence in God's presence and protection and God's provision in all the different moments of life, from when we're needing still waters and green pastures like a sheep would need, to even preparing a table while even in the presence of enemies. And this image of the Lord being our shepherd is one that Jesus and his fellow Jews certainly would have been very familiar with. And when you think about the 23rd Psalm, there's just so much there. That we have someone who leads and guides and protects us. I shall not want, I shall lack for nothing that I need to live and to thrive. And that's demonstrated in the provision of rest in the green pastures and the restoration of our souls, which is part of the purpose of Sabbath, right? Is to have that time of rest and renewal. That he leads me in right paths for his name's sake. That as long as we follow the shepherd, remember, as I mentioned, that cattle can be driven, sheep need to be led. And so this image of he leads me in right paths, or in the paths of righteousness for his name's sake. That as long as we stay close to our shepherd will never lead us into places we shouldn't go. And that statement, even though I walk through the darkest valley, or as some of us know it better from the King James Version, the valley of the shadow of death, that we will fear no evil. That even in the darkest, most difficult, painful, frightening moments of life, to have the assurance that you are with me. Our good shepherd doesn't leave us or forsake us, something that Paul will draw on in Romans chapter 8. This beautiful image of God will accompany us through all the moments and seasons of life, even the most difficult and heartbreaking. And that your rod and your staff, they comfort me. That the shepherd has tools to help us when we fall into a ditch, to use the crook of his staff to get us out, and a rod to protect us from predators or from enemies or those who would harm us. And Psalm 23 also, in all of its beauty, it doesn't promise that we'll never have enemies, that we'll never have difficulty, but that God prepares a table for us even in their presence, and that we can face our enemies with confidence and calmness, and that surely goodness and mercy shall follow us all the days of our life. So many beautiful promises in Psalm 23. It's a psalm well worth you're taking a few more minutes now to read through on your own and to meditate on.